Susquehanna Road, Philadelphia, February 1957. A cardboard box sits abandoned in the woods. Inside, a little boy, freshly bathed, hair recently cut, fingernails clean, dead. For decades, he had no name. Until now. Eisenhower's America was booming, suburbs spreading, families growing, prosperity everywhere you looked. But drive through working-class Philadelphia neighborhoods like Fox Chase? Different story. Row houses crammed together, kids playing in vacant lots, families scraping by. Child protection in 1957 barely existed. Foster care often meant neighbors taking in unwanted kids for a small government check. Adoptions could happen quietly, sometimes in back rooms with nothing more than a handshake. In that climate, a child could disappear and no one would file a report. No one would ask questions. This was the world of a little boy who for decades had no name.
Frank Guthrum is checking his muskrat traps when he spots the JCPenney bassinet box. He opens it. What he finds doesn't make sense. This boy, somewhere between 3 and 7 years old, looks like someone's treasured child. His hair has been freshly cut, but unevenly, as if done in haste, maybe even to make him harder to recognize. His fingernails are perfectly trimmed. He's been bathed recently, thoroughly cleaned. But look closer. Healed scars mark his ankle, his groin, his chin. Surgical scars. Multiple procedures over months, maybe years. Someone paid for medical care. Someone invested in keeping this child alive. The autopsy told the brutal truth. Multiple blunt force trauma to the head.
Detectives knocked on hundreds of doors. They carried Joey's photograph to schools, hospitals, bus stations across 3 states. They even brought in a psychic when leads ran cold. Nothing. Not a single person recognized him. No missing child reports matched, no frantic relatives searching. It was as if Joey had been invisible his entire life, until the moment someone found his body. The press dubbed him the boy in the box. For decades, he was nothing but a case file, yellowing in an archive.
Jump to 2019. DNA technology had evolved beyond recognition. Cold case detectives convinced their superiors to exhume Joey's remains after 62 years underground. 3 years of genetic genealogy followed. Scientists built family trees from fragments of DNA, chasing matches through databases most people have never heard of. December 8, 2022, Philadelphia police gathered the media. After 65 years of silence, they had a name. Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born 1953, 4 years old when he died. The boy in the box finally had a name. But knowing who Joey was didn't reveal who killed him. The killer's identity remains buried somewhere in Philadelphia's past.
2 theories have consumed investigators for decades. Near where Joey was found, there was an unofficial foster home. Investigators checked it closely after a local coroner's employee raised suspicions. At a later estate sale, he even found a bassinet similar to the one sold by JCPenney, and blankets like the one Joey was wrapped in. These coincidences fueled rumors about the foster home's involvement. Still, police interviewed everyone connected to the household and confirmed that all children were accounted for. No direct evidence ever tied the foster home to Joey's death. Decades later, those suspicions remain just that, theory with nothing solid to prove them. Then there's a woman investigators later referred to only as M. She first told her story to a psychiatrist in the late 1980s, and decades later, in 2002, she gave it directly to police. Her account chilled veteran detectives. She described Joey's final moments with disturbing detail, claiming he was mistreated, starved, and ultimately killed. She even mentioned baked beans found in his stomach, a forensic detail that matched the autopsy exactly. That stopped detectives cold. M knew things no one outside the investigation should have known. But her story kept changing. Key details shifted with each telling. When pressed for proof, she had none. Later, she took back parts of her confession. Was M there when Joey died? Did she have access to confidential police files? Or was she closer to the truth than anyone realized?
Joey Zarelli has a proper headstone now, granite carved with his real name instead of unknown boy. But walk through that cemetery and you'll feel it, the weight of unanswered questions. Think about those final hours. Someone cared for his appearance, yet he still ended up alone in a box. That contradiction has haunted investigators ever since. What kind of mind maintains a child's care before taking his life? The box on Susquehanna Road is long gone, but the shadow it cast has never lifted.
Philadelphia PD keeps Joey's file active. They're still hoping someone remembers a little boy who vanished in 1957. You heard both theories now. If you were running this investigation, which would you chase? The foster home with suspicious circumstances but no hard evidence, or M's detailed confession that keeps changing? Drop your thoughts below. Sometimes, a fresh perspective sees what decades of investigation couldn't. Joey deserved justice. Maybe we can still find it for him.